a bitch. And when it comes around times 10. So no more lonely nights, no longer do I have to cry. I am stronger now and I know that it will be alright. Everything that you done to me will come back. Can't believe that you hurt me that bad. I know it's gonna come right back. Everything that you done to me will come back. Can't believe that you hurt me that bad.
It's hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah. It is hour number 2. And thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Today is a Woman Wednesday. Yeah. Hey, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Once again, this is hour number 2. We got some entertainment conversation coming up for you in about 30 minutes, so stay tuned for that. Birthdays, all that type of thing. And then hour number 3, the Power Hour, in which we kind of really focus on chat messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Speaking of which, the all-new Doug Stewart Show is coming very soon. The all-new Doug Stewart Show is coming very soon. We are moving all the operations over to the DougStewartShow.com. That's the show and the chat room. So, please become a premium member. Please become a premium member before you forget and you tune in and we done moved. There's a for sale sign in the yard. Right. It's coming up very soon. Become a premium member and check out the Doug Stewart Show. Yesterday I talked about it. I mentioned that we got a new episode of Chop It Up that's already in the premium members archive on the DougStewartShow.com. I went back and looked at a lot of the chat. And, I mean, y'all really funny with all of the short jokes or whatever, man. A lot of y'all said that y'all thought that I was the ace on my line. That ain't funny, man. As a matter of fact, and I've talked about it before, but we actually have one of the bigger lines that you will see come through the Mega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We had 32 on our line. I was number 18. So you know what that means? Do you know what that means? And for people that don't know, At least it used to be. In Greek fraternities, they line you up from smallest to tallest, and you conduct all your business in that manner. And so out of 32, I was number 18, okay? So if you did the math, half of 32 is 16. So if you're 16 or lower, you would be considered short, right? But if you're 17 and higher, you would be considered above average, right? That's me, number 18, above average height. So that's proof, and I've been saying it for a long time, and a lot of y'all smart, think you got jokes or whatever, you're comedians or whatever. The numbers don't lie. We had a lot. My ace, Ty, who I did the Chop It Up with, I mean, Ty is every bit of 5'4", but he's a tough 5'4". He's tough as hell. Yeah, he's tough as hell. He actually came, and I'm telling you a little bit of the conversation that we had, but he actually came to South Carolina State on a wrestling scholarship. And so he was the ace. He got like a little pit bull. He got a big chest, and he will ball your ass up real quick. But like the tallest guys in my line, like my tail who passed away last year, Tico Dixon, he was like 6'5". Number 31 on our line, Nielsen Hilton, Housequake. He actually played basketball. He was like 6'5". So we had like the last 4 or 5 guys on our line was 6'4" and 6'6", something like that. We had 7 football players on my line, 2 wrestlers, and so very, very proud of our guys. I'm above average. That's bottom line, all you need to know from this conversation, that I was number 18, the hazardous dog, Stu Dog, the nasty Q dog, Stu the goddamn Q. 18. Above average. Above average. My man, Loose Neck Side. Come on, Doug. We both came from that era where we walk line. I was number 20 on my line, and ain't no way there was 17 ninjas shorter than you. and it's funny. So my ace Ty, the ace was a wrestler. My number 2, Shannon Miller, who actually lives in Atlanta, he was a wrestler too. He actually... And it's funny, they canceled the wrestling program like within a year or two of when I got to state. Ty actually talks about that on the interview, on the Chop It Up interview. But Shannon is actually a wrestling coach here in Atlanta and has won several state championships as a coach. And so, yeah, the guys at the front of my line, they small. They like a small piece of leather. They small, but they tough. And they had grades. Hey, so during the break, Grego, and it's ironic that this came from Grego, but Grego made a good point in talking about the Falcons, and, you know, one of their losses that they had this year was against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I went and pulled up the box score from the Eagles game in which they lost 24-15. And exactly right. The Eagles pounded the football, and I couldn't remember the guy's name, the running back that came from San Diego and came to Philadelphia. But Ryan Matthews is his name. Ryan Matthews had 19 carries for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then even their backup running back, Wendell Smallwood, had 13 carries for 70 yards himself. Darren Sproles, 2 carries for 19. And Carson Wentz ran the ball 4 times for 10 yards as well. So from what I remember about that game is they pounded the football. And, you know, it was early in the season. What was this? This was game like 9 or 10. They were 6-4 at the time of this game. But I remember that the Philadelphia Eagles made a concerted effort to run the football up the middle, up the gut. If you add the carries between Ryan Matthews and Wendell Smallwood, what's that, 32 carries. 32 carries for 179 yards between those two guys by themselves. And so, listen, I'm not trying to scare anybody. Somebody said in the chat room, man, that I'm discouraging them from the fact that, you know, can the Falcons get a win in this game? I'm not trying to do that at all because, once again, I haven't made my decision yet on who I'm going to pick. And secondly, I don't care what. And I've been saying this. A lot of people didn't think it was true because they didn't pay attention to the team. The Falcons are going to score. They are going to score. May they, you know, not score as much as New England? Possibly. Is it a small possibility that Matt Ryan could regress this game? It's possible, but that's a very small possibility. That's a very small possibility. Okay? That's a very small possibility. I just think that there's some obvious things. And if you look at kind of like the blueprint and knowing the Patriots and that they game plan specifically for your team, and that whole talk about last week, they ran the one formation 19 times. They had done it 16 times the entire season. Okay? 16 games plus a playoff game, 17 games. They ran that formation, that 4 wides and 1 running back set, single back set, 16 times the entire year. They ran it 19 times alone last week in the win against Pittsburgh. So they game plan. Wouldn't shock me at all if they try to pound the football, man. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they got LeGarrette Blount in there and the Falcons get a healthy dose of LeGarrette Blount. Yeah. Let me read some messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com, man. From Grego in the chat room, who made the very good comment about the Eagles and the loss that the Falcons had. It says, every time Doug says the Falcons are going to score, TDs become field goals. Shut up, Grego. Just be quiet, Grego. From KC, Doug will make his Super Bowl pick on the Monday after the game. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about, sir? Moving on, from Sidney Jackson, one of the few bright spots for my Eagles this past season, talking about the win over the Falcons. From Gilliard Road's finest, Gregor, yeah, it's real out here. One of the DJs on radio station posted on his page pictures of all the Trump supporters here, and they rethinking their votes, especially when their hiring freeze started. Oh, my gosh, Donald Trump has come in, man, like a whirlwind. We'll talk a little bit about him in the entertainment segment and about the foolishness that is Donald Trump. From Sidney Jackson, Coach, yes, sir. She is a fine piece of work that fell from heaven. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about one of these profile pics from Sidney Jackson. Wait a minute. Let's take a look at Sidney Jackson's profile pic. I don't know who that is, but she can definitely get it back in the day. From Sluggo, a bunch of pocket Hercules on Doug's line. Yeah, whatever. The 6 on my line was a wrestler, too. James Smith, I talked about before. And I'm going to definitely get James on. His name is actually Jihad Aziz now. He's a doctor. And I talked about it, told a story on how James, and I need to stop doing that because that man might take offense to that. I talked about it how Jihad, the 6 on my line from Patterson, New Jersey, he was the president, the student body president at Eastside High when they filmed the movie Lean on Me, with what's his name, Easy Reader, Morgan Freeman. He was actually the president of the student body the year that they filmed that movie, and he was a wrestler too as well at South Carolina State. From what do we got here? From Jones, the big truck driver, Chief Thorny, got me feeling like a stepchild too. I forgot all about our weekly annual conversation with Thorny Switch. Thorny, do me a favor. And the reason why the studio audience is booing if you're new to the show is because we try to have Thorny on every Wednesday in honor of Woman Wednesday. In the last couple of times, it's gone, what's that word? It's gone awry. Yeah, it's gone awry. Yeah. So maybe Thorny, if she's, and I see her in the chat room, what did she say here? Thorny says, if your ace is 5'2", that's not bragging rights. Listen here. And Thorny, and I've met Thorny, and Thorny is what I would consider tall for a woman. Maybe Thorny might be 5'8" or whatever. She's not taller than me, anything like that. But maybe she's 5'8" or something like that. That's pretty tall for a woman. But Thorny, it almost sounds like with these little snide remarks about short people and short this and you short that and your ace is